I'm talking today to Jeremy and Megan about their home buying experience. They did all the right things to make sure they could buy their first home. And I'm sure they started many years ago with planning ahead and doing all the right things. Megan and Jeremy, hi.
Hello.
And their dog.
It's Eddie.
Hi, Eddie. He's so cute. So you guys were one of the few people that I know who are able to buy a home without getting a large gift from family and still got a really beautiful home. So tell me about the things that you guys did in terms of getting income, job, savings, not having a lot of debt, as well as having good credit.
Well, early on, I decided to get a full-time job that allowed me to be able to move up in the organization and be in a space where I really felt that I could kind of sustain living for myself. And then when we got together, then our incomes together were really great.
Yeah,
But-
we were both lucky to be in a position where we felt like our position and job was going to stay the same for the foreseeable future.
Did you guys go to university first or no?
Yes, yeah. So I went to Queens. I had student loans, but I made sure to live at home as long as I could to pay those off before we moved in together so that I started kind of our life without any debt.
Yeah, we must have both been living at home until we were
25,
25, 26, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which helped.
And then Jared ended up getting a car payment, and you did a really great job paying that off over the years. We decided early on that we were going to stick with one car, and that really helped us to save and continue to work towards lots of our goals. Yeah, and we've just figured it out. Was using the bus a lot
You have
and
to get creative.
boring. Also got a really great rental when we decided to move in. We got a great price, and we wanted to be able to save, and so we didn't want to get a place that was going to strap us. It allowed us the space to have that savings.
And you lived in a home that also someone like the owner lived in the home as well.
Exactly.
And how much was your rent?
It
It
was
was at first $1,600 plus like 35% of the utilities. But once we had bought the place, we knew that that was a great starting point, especially for the price that it was, especially at the time of what our income was.
Then we decided to open Wealthsimple accounts. That really helped us. That worked well for our lifestyle. And together, we still had our separate accounts, but we were able to create goals for where we wanted to spend our next spending on, right?
Yeah.
And did you have like a certain amount you put in savings every month, or just how did that work? Was
Yeah.
it planned?
We would be putting $250 each bi-weekly towards whatever savings.
Together $1,000 a month we were
Yeah.
saving, and we were able to start saving for our wedding, which is our kind of first thing that we were hoping for. I think Jared and I are really good at looking 2-3 years into the future to think about what do we want to spend our money on, like what's going to come down the pipeline very soon. So
Yeah.
And then I think when we were buying the house, we weren't planning to do it so quickly after we got married, but we had the money and the time was right and the interest rate was right.
So
We started looking around, and then we found our beautiful home.
yeah,
How did you guys make sure you had good credit, like paying your debts on time?
paying it up as fast as possible was definitely a choice that I made in terms of like paying for the car. Like I paid a good chunk of it up front, and then I was paying it off immediately. It was like scheduled payments, and then I would just make extra payments
On top
on
of
top of
that.
it. So,
Okay.
Yeah, and for me, just paying my credit card off, using my credit card so that I can get the points, which for
And
us,
build credit. It's
build
important to
credits.
have credit.
That's true. We've now sat down and we do budgets, so we're budgeting, which is actually really fun. We do like budget dates, so that's
Yeah.
good because it keeps the communication open and it makes it kind of a fun challenge, is how kind of we see it.
I think a good way to summarize it is like taking advantage of the resources that we had throughout each stage is super important. Like having one car, and with having a cheaper rent at the time, like what can we do to maximize our savings and investments at that time also helped.
That's another thing I think for us is that we're very aware of like what we were spending our money on and how we were saving. We didn't have to sacrifice too much, which is, I think, some of the things I always kept seeing on social media was like, you have to cut everything out of your life in order to make all this savings. But I think it's just cutting different pieces out, but still keeping things that are important to you.
And was it helpful to work with a mortgage broker versus walking into a bank?
Oh my gosh, night and day.
Yeah.
Working with you, Gretchen, was honestly the best experience. Not only did you provide us the necessary guidance and support, but you taught us everything to do, and you found us the amazing rates.
Yeah, just being available, honestly, and just felt like you were on our team from the get-go and looking out for our best interests. So thank you.
Yeah, lots of late night calls and lots of guidance, because it's hard as first-time homebuyers. There's so many steps to the process that we were completely unaware of, and
Yeah.
you had an amazing resource, the visual that kind of walked us through what needed to happen, and so we felt so lucky to be able to do it with you.
Well, you guys are amazing, and thanks for working with me. And thank you so much for this time today and helping other buyers get some information and clues from what you've done to help them along the way.
Happy to help.